Robin, thank you so much for your patience tonight. Really appreciate you calling in. What can we help you with tonight?
Yeah, I was wondering. I have a
Yeah, it's okay.
have experienced a workman's comp case where I received a letter where it stated that that I had in my 90 days. I had 90 days to where I had to look for a job.
Okay.
And within that and after that 90-day period, that they had the right to cut my workman comp benefits.
Okay.
The job was to look as a cashier for a cashier position.
Okay.
And that they were going to cut my benefits from $360 to $385 per week. Well, it just so happens that that job that they were wanting me to look for didn't fit my functional capacity test.
Okay.
Into my functional capacity test results, and I was just wondering how they could justify me looking for a job that didn't fit into my functional capacity requirements.
Robin, good question. I see where you're coming from there, Matt. So she got a letter in the mail, and
no, what Robin's talking about, she's bringing, that's a very meaty issue in a lot of workers' comp cases. What she's talking about, Kenny, is the fact that in a workers' comp case, one of the issues is the worker's ability to go back to the workforce and what can they do. And so, honestly, the employer and the insurance carrier, what they do is it's in their best interest to show that the injured worker can go back and make the same or perhaps even more money than they did before they were hurt. Mm-hmm. And so they will send people out, they're called Vocational Rehabilitation Specialists, that will go out, interview the hurt person and try to find them jobs, and that's what she's talking about. And so they send a letter to the injured worker saying, look, we found 8 or 9 jobs. Now, sometimes it's debatable whether or not they physically can perform those jobs, or they're qualified to do those jobs. And it sounds like Robin has an issue that maybe she isn't, and I get that. But the thing is, she's really she's required, though, however, to attempt to return back to work.
I see.
There's no downside into, quite frankly, applying for those jobs. And if she is lucky enough to get a call back or even hired, to attempt it. And then, of course, if she can't do it, so be it.
I see.
But at the same time, it's always a good idea to try to go back to work the best you can.
Okay, so for her situation, kind of following up on this process would probably be the best. And if the job doesn't work for her physical abilities, then it just doesn't work.
So be it. That's right. Yeah, and she obviously, and what she said, she mentioned the FCE, functional capacities evaluation. That it is, once again, when someone's hurt and they get to a point where they're not going to get any better, they go through a series of tests, and a physical therapist or doctors kind of determine what limitations they have, how much they can lift, pull, carry, stand, and all that. That's what, and you get a chart and a listing, and so that's what she's talking about. So obviously don't go beyond what the doctors say you should, but whenever possible, always best to get back in the workforce if you can.
Okay. All right, Robin, hope that helps out a little bit.
That was quite a question.
That was. She did.
That was a lot there.
She right, she did. And Robin, you did a good job getting through it, because there was a lot on that one. So thank you so much for the call. We hope that works out for you going forward.